Thank you. Do we have another two key witnesses? Great. You may proceed in 2 minutes.
Good morning. So good morning. My name is Jamilia Land. In addition to being the co-founder of the Anti-Violence Safety and Accountability Project, I am also co-director of state operations for the Abolish Slavery National Network. We are the national coalition that has successfully helped to remove these unjust clauses. I have a quick question for you all. By a show of hands, if you would not mind, how many of you have ever stepped inside of a prison?
Keep going.
How many of you have a loved one who has been in prison or a community member that you have had to support? Okay. So we have a lot of myths, and I want to thank you, Jay, for addressing some of them. We have been socially indoctrinated to believe that work is the equivalent of rehabilitation. It is not. We also reside in a state that touts to be one of the most progressive in the country, and we are very proud to state that we entered the Union as a free state. However, our laws do not reflect that. In addition to having involuntary servitude as a form of punishment in our Constitution, we have also gone so far as to codify it in our penal code. Penal Code Section 2700 states that every able-bodied person incarcerated in a California prison shall perform as many hours of faithful labor each and every day as prescribed by the Director of the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. If that does not sound like legalized constitutional slavery to you, I don't know exactly what that sounds like. Are you familiar that there is an agency called CalPIA, the California Prison Industry Authority? Do you know that they produce some of everything? You know, this podium that I'm standing at likely is produced at CalPIA, same as the member. These chairs, your chairs, the desk in your office. This is beyond at Cal. There is an agency. If that does not sound like legalized constitutional slavery to you, I don't know exactly what that sounds like. Are you familiar that there is an agency called CalPIA, the California Prison Industry Authority? Do you know that they produce some of everything? You know, this podium that I'm standing at likely is produced at CalPIA, same as the member. These chairs, your chairs, the desk in your office. This is beyond what it may look like. And unfortunately, the conversation has been hijacked for the past 2 years. As you know, last year was ACA 3, and it has been predominantly focused on wages. And let's be very clear that this is not about wages. This is about humanizing a demographic of people who have been relegated to the darkest corner of subhumanity since the beginning of this country. For we live in a country that a constitution states that persons who look like I, and the majority of us in this room, are 3/5 of a human being for purposes of representation in a socially constructed entity, that our lives have no value.
You need to wrap up.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
With that, I will state California has the opportunity to finally undo what has been done. Let's humanize the men and women that are behind the carceral walls. Let's show the rest of the world that California can and, in fact, is progressive, and finally put an end to legalized constitutional slavery.
All right.